In this week's Signal Emitted, Godot 4.6 release, the 4.5.2 update, our Creator Spotlight, Game of the Week, and of course our Tip of the Week. Welcome to Signal Emitted, your weekly news show for Godot related news. I'm Voylin, and we got a new major release for the Godot game engine. First of all, I already made a video about the 4.6 release, so watch that if you want to have a longer overview over the whole update. But what I want to do here is to quickly go over some of the biggest new features, which some of them, they probably were not mentioned on the release page. So first of all, Voylin's game embedding support got added. OpenXR has support for spatial entities now, also OpenXR 1.1 I believe. You can now also access all the editor settings from the project management screen, which was not possible to do before. I don't understand how that was not possible. Inverse kinematics is back and much better than before. Game speed controls for testing your games also got added. Editor docs got improved. Of course, the new default editor theme got added. Screen space reflections overhaul, giving better performance and quality. Inspector layout got more condensed for arrays. The object DB profile for debugging your games. Drag and drop export variables. And a big one that I did not see mentioned anywhere, and I only learned about it after looking through the PRs, is split containers now allow for more than 2 shells. So you can have multiple containers inside of a split container now. Of course, there are a lot more features that got added to the whole 4.6 update. So let me know which 4.6 features are your favorites. Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, for me, I think you probably already guessed it. It's the split container one. And if you're in need of getting great video playback support for your Godot project, your game, look no further as GDE GoZen got you covered. This add-on is open source with the compiled versions being available on itch.io, and it gives you video playback support for the most common formats on Linux, Windows, macOS and Android. Check it out with the link in the description. And let's go over to the Creator Spotlight. MZETH, I have no idea how to pronounce it, but let's go with that, is a creator who shares his game development progress with devlogs. Follow along with his journey of creating pixel art games, get inspired to work on your own games and learn from his way of developing. I personally think that watching devlogs is a great way to learn from other people's struggles and design decisions, whilst also fueling your motivation to work on your own projects. You can check him out with the link in the description. And if you go to the Godot website right now and look on the recent blog post, you could have easily missed this news due to the 4.6 release being that kind of big news. But there's actually another release, to be more precise, a release candidate for the 4.5.2 update. This got released last week, and there's not really much to talk about except for some bug fixes for Android and some bug fixes for Direct3D, which are basically backported improvements, fixes from 4.6. In total, about 200 improvements got made to the engine, bug fixes, which got backported or created. Yeah. Still, 4.6 does not really give too many breaking changes, so I think most people will just be switching over to 4.6 anyway. But talking about improvements, 4.7 will be getting some new nice improvements to the LSP with this PR. Yeah, I contributed this myself. With this PR, the specific part of a line of code where the error is happening or the warning is happening will be highlighted instead of the entire line. This is a big improvement in functionality, as some IDEs allow you to go to the next warning or error with a shortcut. Because of this change, your cursor will directly be at the correct position of where the error or warning starts. It sounds like something small, but it has been frustrating me for quite some time. Also, I added another PR for some other LSP stuff. I'm trying to make the whole 4.7 update the update that I contribute the most to. And then let's go over to Reddit. AI Beast Knight created an amazing looking scene in Godot for his game called Psych Rift, which is currently in development. You can basically use telekinetic powers to throw stuff around the room and see it break in front of you in many pieces. But that's not the best part. Here's another part, like another video of his game, but this time a visual effects showcase. Let's see how the further development of this game will go. I'm kind of interested in it at this point. And then I also quickly want to mention that GoZen, my video editor which I'm making in Godot, has gotten a new alpha release, version 0.6.1 alpha. But it's still an alpha, so expect bugs. But if you want to try out a video editor made in Godot, a link will be in the description. Let's also take a quick look at this stock themed roguelike game from the Reddit user Naive. If you like gambling on the stock market, but you don't really like losing all your money, then how about giving this game a go? The release is scheduled later this month on February 18th. And then there's one more project that I made that I released recently, which I'd like to share as well. If you use NeoVim and you wish that the color scheme of your editor is the same as your Godot editor itself, well, that's possible now. I've made a Lua script which you can use to recreate the exact same colors as the Godot editor. Just copy paste the background and accent colors together with your contrasts of your current settings, editor settings, and voila! You have a nearly identical color scheme in both places. And then for the game of this week, I bring to you Turnbound. Turnbound is a strategic auto battler where you manage your hero's inventory to escape a haunted board game. There are unique upgrades, combos, synergies, and you can battle ghosts of other players. You have to build powerful synergies through tiles, heroes, and items while navigating increasingly challenging encounters. Every tile that you place in your grid has a strategic cause and effect loop that ripples through battles and rewards those with foresight and creativity. The game is in early access right now, but is available at a 10% discount for the next few days. And of course, as always, there will be a link in the description. And it's already time for the tip of the week. And for this week's tip, I have an interesting one for people who want to use shaders. When you use a shader, the modulate value of the node is not getting applied automatically, which is not always something you want. But how can we apply the modulate value without having to pass another value to the shader itself? Well, that's possible with these little snippets. Don't look too much at the varying variable. It's just a way to pass the variable from the vertex part of the code of the shader to the fragment part of the shader. What happens is that the vertex part has access to the actual color from the modulate, whilst the fragment part doesn't. So it's basically just like, okay, let's keep this in memory, okay, and the fragment shader can pull it out. So after taking a quick copy of that color, we can apply it in the fragment shader on the end to the color that your shader produced. And we have a, well, basically combination of your color that you wanted together with the modulate value that you want to apply to it. And this again is a problem that I ran into a couple of days ago, well, weeks ago by now. But luckily there was a member in our Discord server there to save the day and save me a lot of time and struggle. If you know of any other nice tips which you want to share with the community, please be certain to let us know in the comments below, because tips are always welcome. And that's it for this episode. Last week's news was a little bit short, so I combined 2 weeks together again. Yesterday and the day before I was a little bit under the weather, so it took some time to get this out. That's why it's on a Sunday instead of a Friday. But anyway, a quick thank you to all my Ko-fi supporters. Thank you very much for your support. Thanks to all the new people who have been joining recently. And yeah, I'll see you all in next week's Signal Emitted. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.